Hi everyone, it's Veronica, and this is a video that I promised to make last weekend, and I finally am getting around to filming it. And this video is going to be all about my skin issues and some skin conditions that I wanted to share with you all. I know a lot of people struggle with different skin issues, and I just think it's so important that we share those, because sometimes it's like so reassuring to know that someone's going through the same thing as you are, and that nobody's perfect. And my skin may look great on camera, but I assure you that in real life it's definitely not perfect at all, and imperfections everywhere. So I just kind of wanted to share this video so that anyone who's sort of struggling with the same issues that I am can sort of maybe relate to this. So I'll kind of start from where it began. And basically, when I first moved to Houston, within the first few months of moving here, I started to notice that my skin was breaking out in little bumps. They kind of look like little blisters, and they would always be like on the inside of my elbow and all along my thighs, my different parts of my legs, my calf area, mainly concentrated in those two areas. And I never kind of understood why, but I would always notice that it kind of happened with temperatures. When I would go from hot to cold, cold to hot. And as you know, Houston is very hot in the summer, and then you walk into an air-conditioned space immediately. And that's when I would kind of notice that I started breaking out in these hives. And I went to see my primary care doctor initially, and he told me that, I probably just had exercise-induced hives because I was working out a lot at the time. And, I would notice sometimes when I was working out is when I would start getting these hives. And for a while, I just kind of started taking an antihistamine, and I was actually taking Zyrtec, and I'll talk more about that later. And it was helping, but I wasn't taking it consistently because my symptoms weren't consistent. One day I'd have a day where I didn't get any hives at all, and then for the next few days, I would just break out in them like crazy. So this year is probably the worst my hives have ever been in my whole life. At this point, I can't even take a shower without having, hives all over my body. When I get out of the shower, my feet have like bright red splotches all over them. My neck has splotches. There's just red splotches everywhere. So in addition to the bumps that I get, which by the way are extremely itchy, the hives I get that look like sort of blistery bumps, the moment I scratch them, they just spread. And, they usually last about 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. It just depends, on how bad the outbreak is, I guess. And so that's very frustrating, because in addition to the look of the skin with all the bumps on it, you're getting that extreme itchiness, and that's what's so frustrating about it. The red splotches began more recently. I started to notice that as I got out of the shower, or as I was working out, or even after I washed my face, my skin literally has like red splotches all over it. I had never experienced this before on my face. And before I started on the treatment plan I'm on now, I would like wash my makeup off at night and my skin would be clear, but I would have like red splotches all over it. And just to give you guys an idea, if you haven't seen what this looks like before, I actually had some pictures printed out to take to my dermatologist so I could show them sort of what my hives look like, because anytime you have any kind of medical problem and you have evidence of it, it's physically apparent on your skin, I always recommend that you photograph what your outbreaks look like, because it's going to help your physician identify what the problem may be. So just to give you an idea, I would get out of the shower and this is what my skin would look like. I had like redness and bumps all over my back. It went all the way up to my scalp. This is another example of just how red and splotchy. This is my arm. So I would get out of the shower, I would wipe my arm with a towel, and my skin would look like this. And then my actual hives, like the little bumps, would look like this, really red, raised, itchy welts. And then there's just another picture of those welts and bumps. And then these are some of the bumps. I don't know if that you'll be able to see this because this picture isn't super clear, but that's what it looks like when I get it on my thighs. So for anyone who doesn't know sort of what these reactions might look like, or maybe you're getting reactions like that, I just thought it would be helpful to show those pictures so that you can really understand sort of what the condition looks like. So my doctor, I actually have it pulled up on my iPhone so I can pronounce it correctly. Let's see here. So my doctor diagnosed me with, it's a skin condition, and it basically is just a fancy word for hives, and it's called urticaria. And basically it means that you have chronic hives. So as I mentioned before, I was taking Zyrtec, which is an over-the-counter drug. There's a lot of controversy online about this drug. A lot of people say that after they took Zyrtec, their skin actually got itchier and had more hives when they came off of it. So while you're on the drug, your skin is fine, but the moment you stop it, your whole skin gets itchy, you get more breakouts than ever before, and personally, that's what I was experiencing. Now, I certainly am not bashing this drug or saying it's horrible, because I did talk to my dermatologist about it, and she said that the reason when you're off of it that you break out in more hives and you have more frequent episodes, it's because the histamines that were previously, being blocked by the drug are now flowing through your system, and that's what's causing the breakouts. So to alleviate this problem, I've been on this drug for about a week and a half now. It's called Hydrozine HCl 10 milligram tablets. This is just my prescription bottle. So these pills, I'm just going to show them to you so you can sort of get an idea of how tiny this is. So this is how small the pill is. It's teeny, teeny, tiny. And it is, these can make you drowsy. So what I do is I take one pill at night before I go to bed. And I haven't actually personally noticed it make me drowsy. I mean, I guess I'm already going to sleep, so I'm tired, but I haven't noticed that, the next morning when I wake up, I'm drowsier or more tired than usual. So this drug has really been helping me. I mean, I still get redness when I'm out of the shower, but I'm not getting the same hive breakouts and itchiness like I used to get. I'm just actually amazed that this one tiny little pill can have such an impact. Even in the mornings when I would wake up, I would wash my face before I put my makeup on before work, and my neck would just be so itchy, and it would break out in hives, and I'd have red splotches all over my neck. So you can imagine how frustrating that is when you're trying to put your makeup on, and you can't really cover that kind of redness because it's just so in your skin. So putting the powder on top of it doesn't really do anything. You have to just wait for it to pass, and that's what's so frustrating. And then of course it's so itchy, you just want to scratch your skin off, but I'm really, really trying to work on not scratching my skin when I'm having these outbreaks, because it just spreads them and makes it worse. So like I said before, I do only really use products that are formulated for sensitive skin. As far as my moisturizer, I use the Neutrogena Sensitive Skin with no scent, no nothing. That seems to work really well for me. But ever since I've been on this medication, I've definitely noticed a reduction. I'm not getting that itchiness on my neck every morning. I'm not breaking out in the hives all over my body like I used to. Like I said, I still get the redness and splotchiness occasionally, but that's a symptom that started more recently anyway. I didn't used to have that before my hives got worse. So I'm kind of still working on figuring out sort of what the deal is with that. And then the second thing I wanted to talk to you all about, this is a very common condition. And again, I'm looking on my iPhone so I don't pronounce it incorrectly. It's called Keratosis Pilaris. And it's basically, I'm going to read it from my iPhone. It's a common skin condition in which a protein in the skin called keratin forms hard plugs within hair follicles. So I have been diagnosed with the Keratosis Pilaris, and basically a couple years ago I started to notice that I had some little tiny bumps on the backs of my arms. And they were almost like whiteheads almost. They kind of had a similar appearance. They didn't have an actual white head at the top, but they had a bump. And you should never do this, by the way, but I didn't know it was a skin condition. I didn't know what it was. I thought maybe I did have some clogged pores, so I would squeeze them. And you would get a little hard, sort of waxy consistency thing come out of it, kind of okay, I know this is gross, by the way, so sorry if you're grossed out by this, but I'm just being honest. You would kind of get something like what would come out of a pimple. And at the time, I didn't know what it was, and I was so distracted by these bumps that I would just sit there picking at it. And because of that, I do have some scars, and they're not that visible or anything, but I do have some scars on my arms from doing that. I just never thought to ask my dermatologist, what is this? What can I do? So while I was visiting my dermatologist a couple weeks ago for the issues with my skin with hives, I said, by the way, like I have these bumps on my, arms. What are they? Is there anything I can do? And she took, I took my sweater off and she took one look at it and she said, oh yeah, you have KP. That's definitely what it is. And she prescribed me this cream. So this is called Lac Hydrin 12% cream. It just comes in like a huge tub like this. And Lac Hydrin 12%. And it's basically supposed to help with the appearance. She said it could take several months though for me to see any improvement, but it's supposed to help with the appearance. It's supposed to help you get less of these sort of bumps on your skin. And sadly, after my appointment with her, I actually noticed that I also have the KP on my thighs. I don't know where that came from or how it happened or if my skin's just sort of getting worse as I'm getting older, but I do have it on my thighs, and it actually looks much worse on my thighs than it ever did on my arms. I don't know if I had just never looked for it and I never noticed it before, and now that I'm like more aware of it, I'm seeing it on other parts of my body, or I don't know if it just started getting worse more recently, but I have like little red dots all over my sort of inner thigh area. It's not all over my leg. It's kind of concentrated down the side of my inner thigh. And they're much more apparent, like I said, than the ones on my arms. And they're like clear and distinct little red dots that just look like clogged like hair follicles. So that's very frustrating, as you can imagine. But I've been using the cream. It's recommended that you use it twice daily. So every morning after my shower, I apply it to the affected areas only. I don't apply it to my whole body. So I apply it about from here down to my elbow on the backs of my arms, and then I apply it on my inner thigh area. And then at night when I just shower twice a day. I shower in the morning and at night. Obviously I don't wash my hair every day, but I just wrap it up in a towel. So I'm washing my body twice a day, especially because we usually work out after work. So obviously I need to shower. So after my evening shower, I apply it again to my inner thighs and the backs of my arms. So I will do an update. I know this is a very common skin condition, so I know a lot of you probably struggle with the same issue I do, and I am going to do a video update to let you all know how that cream is working and sort of what my results have been. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope that, some people who are also struggling with the same issues will leave a comment and let me know, are there any products that have helped you, or, is there anything you've done for your skin that has helped improve your condition? So again, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any specific questions about this, or, my experiences with the hives or the KP, just leave me a comment below and I will do my best to answer everyone. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Bye.